Yes, indeed. Team USA, the winner of the gold medal here in Milan for the 2026 Men's Olympic Ice Hockey Tournament. I am at Pucking Thoughts. Welcome into Total Hockey Now. We'll have full reaction from my colleagues at Ant Rivera 86 and at Fuzzy Chris 91 when he is ready to join. Might be a few minutes for him as that was a heartbreaker with a final in overtime. Team USA 2, Canada 1. Jack Hughes, the golden goal scorer there for Team USA after taking a late penalty that maybe could have been a little costly. Team USA and Connor Hellebuck lives to fight another day. Get to overtime with this crazy 3-on-3 format here for gold, which was bonkers in itself. And you kind of thought it was going to be over quick with 3-on-3. You didn't think it was going to be an extended long period. And you're watching the replay again on NBC. What a pass there to get it over to Hughes. Hughes buries it. No disrespect to Jordan Bennington, who had a hell of a game and a hell of a tournament, representing Team Canada. Werenski makes a nice move to get it deep, gets the defender off, makes a beautiful feed there over to Hughes. And there we go. It's Team USA winning 2-1. First time since 1980 for Team USA getting the gold medal in men's hockey with the NHL players there. And first time head-to-head over Team Canada for the gold medal there. Last time in 2010 when it was USA-Canada, it was Sidney Crosby getting the golden goal for Team Canada. Back in 2002 in Salt Lake City, Team Canada wins that game as well. The two quote-unquote more recent ones are from this millennium, we'll say, as Team USA celebrating on the ice here. And, they're flag over Austin Matthews. They're parading around the Johnny Gaudreau jersey. That is such a nice touch there. Love to see that. And, we'll bring the medal ceremony to you live here as we wait for the other guys to join in here and have fun with us as we recap the Team USA, Team Canada gold medal game recap. 2-1 final for Team USA. Just to kind of go through the game here and kind of recap, Team USA takes advantage of that adrenaline rush early in the first period there, and they get the goal early. And knew it wasn't going to end 1-0. You just knew that wasn't going to stand. It wasn't going to hold up. Team Canada, in the second period, they start to take over, start to have the game go their way a little bit. Continues on into the third period. Team USA sweating. Connor Hellebuck, maybe not in an NHL playoff level, but at least the big game reputation, that he can't perform in big games. I think we could take that off of him here. In the third period, Canada had their opportunities. There was that shot where the puck trickles through the crease there after Hellebuck makes a nice save. That one almost goes in. Macklin Celebrini, who's had a great tournament. He gets a breakaway there in the third period, doesn't really elevate the shot. McKinnon probably wants that shot back too with the what he had there. Sam Bennett almost cost Team USA, Team Canada with the double minor. Then Jack Hughes kind of does them a favor a little bit, and not intentional on the high stick on Bo Horvat, but got to call it the way it is. And then, Team Canada gave Team USA everything they could, and Connor Hellebuck everything they could. Jordan Bennington made the big saves when he had to. And like we said, you come into overtime 3-on-3 for the gold medal. You knew it wasn't gonna be a long 20-minute frame there. But nonetheless, Team USA, waiting for their gold medal on the ice here. Hugs all around. You got to say it's been an excellent tournament all around for Team USA and Team Canada. This is the matchup everybody wanted. This is the matchup that, maybe not everybody, maybe over in Sweden and Finland and other parts of Europe, they weren't wanting this matchup. But here we are, as we look up at the screen, Team USA celebrating gold. And they had, you can make the argument of who had the best team. It was Team USA, the Team Canada have a better team. But I'll say this, Team USA had a gold medal worthy team from top to bottom. You knew Connor Hellebuck was going to give you a strong effort in that. They had 4 strong lines, no weaknesses there, a fantastic penalty kill. Quinn Hughes running the power play. You could do a lot worse. He's a fantastic power play quarterback, takes over the, overtime against Team Sweden in the quarterfinals. Team USA had the sweat to get here. Team Canada had the sweat to get here against Czechia in overtime a couple of rounds ago. But nonetheless, we're getting ready for the gold medal here presentation and the silver medal and bronze medal presentation. Team Finland gets the bronze in a big way over Team Slovakia yesterday, so they'll be out there to get their medals. And here we go down the handshake line, and we have one of our other colleagues here today. Let's get him up here, and kudos to you. I mean, we're only 6.5 minutes into the show when you showed up. I thought it might be a little longer, but nonetheless, hey, heck of a game. You had your chances. Hellebuck stood tall. That 3-on-3 in overtime, we can definitely talk about that for the gold medal, because you knew it wasn't going to go for 20 minutes. You knew that it was going to be over quick one way or the other.
Yeah, you were not surviving 20 minutes of 3-on-3 with literally the best players to ever play the game. But yes, this was look, it took me 6 minutes to pull myself together. Honestly, that's a W. That's the real win here. Listen, it was a great shot by Jack Hughes there. He had played very well in the tournament. The secondary kind of scoring for the United States was there. And sometimes, obviously, we know this. Maybe some people are learning about hockey for the first time, but sometimes the best team doesn't win. It's the team that scores more goals. And I do believe that Canada was the better team overall, but give credit to Connor Hellebuck. He's been criticized a lot for not being able to come up in those big moments. And, he showed up today. His save on Devon Taves was huge, and he gave the Americans an opportunity to win that game, which is what you want your goalies to do. He did exactly that. Jordan Binnington did as well. But listen, it's a game of inches, it's a game of mistakes. And when you don't bury your chances, they come back and haunt you. So that's where we are now.
Well, I went through the game a little bit there, but I'm going to just kind of go through what I thought, the flow of the game, because that third period was a story in itself, because, Team USA takes advantage of that early adrenaline rush, and maybe that was the plan. They get that early goal, but you knew, right, it wasn't ending 1-0, right? Nobody thought the game was over at 1-0. Team Canada starts to take over in the second period and throughout the third, making Team USA sweat a lot. Hellebuck makes that nice save, and then the puck on the rebound kind of trickles through the crease, and you're like, all right, we dodge a bullet there, Team USA, because that easily could have gone in. I'll say this, and I think Macklin Celebrini's had a great tournament. He didn't get a great shot off on that breakaway. You got to get a little more lift on that, Hellebuck's. 2, I thought they were forcing the puck, and I know how talented he is, but he's a 19-year-old, and not to say he couldn't handle it. I'm just saying that I felt like they were forcing the puck to Celebrini a lot in that third period, for better or worse. McKinnon probably wants that shot back too. Bennett almost cost them. Hughes not intentional, gives it right back. The high stick on Horvat. McAvoy almost gives you a goal on a I don't know what the hell he was doing on that entry, just leaving the puck on the blue line there. Canada comes back the other way. Hellebuck. But yeah. I mean, the third period, Canada had their chances. Team USA definitely left the door open for Canada to tie the game, and whether it was Hellebuck making a nice save or maybe they didn't get a clean shot off, just it wasn't in the cards for Team Canada.
Yeah, listen, speaking about Macklin Celebrini, what an absolute coming out tournament for him. Like, we knew he was going to be good. And then there was Celebrini playing the most minutes in that in that semifinal game, which I don't think anybody had on their bingo card. Macklin Celebrini playing over 25 minutes. And again, today, I agree with you. It looked like they were trying to set him up a lot, which is, when you're playing with guys like Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid, that is truly saying something. When they're looking to you and saying, "Hey, you could be the guy who shoots." And for sure, he will get to learn from it. He will be back here again. The taste is going to sting for about 4 years at best. But I do agree that maybe a couple of times you want to see, McDavid or McKinnon just shoot, just to keep the defense honest, right? Those guys, like, they could facilitate the puck, and You want to keep them honest. You know how quick they are. You just want the other team to know that they can at any given moment decide to take a shot and end everything. So I would have liked to see them do a little bit more of that. I'll say a couple of things as well. I know Devontae is getting a lot of hate for that first goal. Like, I mean, it was Matt Boldy just finding finding an opportunity to bury it. So, good for him on it. I thought Travis Sanheim played a fantastic game. Like, some people criticize his spot being on the team. I think he stepped up again in the absence of Josh Morrissey, who was not able to go. That is a loss. Sidney Crosby deciding that he is, from what it sounds like, called that shot to say, hey, I can't do what I want to do, so I'm gonna let somebody else be there and pick it up. And I don't think Seth Jarvis played poorly. I don't think Sam Reinhart played poorly. Nick Suzuki had an assist on Canada's only goal. So I think the rest of the gang showed up. It wasn't to the level that it needed to be. And I'm also happy that I got an opportunity to cheer for Tom Wilson. That was definitely different when he almost sent Dylan Larkin to the Shadow Realms in that first period with that hit. I remember, if I was on the other side, I'd be like, wow, that is something. And then I saw it being on our side. I was like, okay, this is what he was here to do. He played a fantastic game as well. So
the other thing that I wish we would have gotten to see more of in that overtime, even though we knew it wasn't going to go long, was the face-off strategy of like, okay, you have Horvat and Trocheck going out there. You got two of your better guys trying to take the draw, and then immediately making beelines for the bench. Marner to come out for Canada at that point. That I thought was a little bit of an interesting check, like, because you do have all that open ice. Normally, you wouldn't recommend doing that, but these guys are quick enough to be able to handle it. I just thought that was an interesting little wrinkle. But
every detail matters. Like, that's what it is at this level. Every single detail matters. I mean, Trocheck was winning. The United States were a much better team on at the dot. They were winning faceoffs consistently. Not going to throw shade at Horvat because he was the best, but again, you want to start with possession. You have a lot of centermen on the ice, and McKinnon, Celebrini plays center as well. McDavid, if you go down, Suzuki as well. There's lots of guys who play center and that can win it, but the United States had a distinct edge there, and it just makes it harder at that point when you're trying to go out and have to get the puck and regain it and regain your entries and stuff like that. Like, face-offs are so important. You want to start with the puck, or at least you want to have it be a 50-50 and then have your winger come in and support you to pick it up the same way McDavid did in that, opening for overtime. But again, give credit to the Americans where it was. This is why you have someone like Vincent Trocheck in the lineup. He's not there to score a bunch of goals, right? There was no shortage of that for Team USA, of skill that could do so. He's there to do the job that needs to be done at the highest level, and that was winning faceoffs, and he was probably one of the better ones for the Americans.
And like we said, and when we were talking about the the episodes leading up to like who we think is going to make the roster, what are the line combinations going to be, like, that's, like you said, that's exactly why you carry a guy like that, as they're starting to line up there to get ready for the medal presentation. I did think it was a nice touch that they brought the Johnny Gaudreau jersey out on the ice. I think it's one of the safest assumptions on the planet that he would have been a part of this team. I don't know, you can say who wouldn't have been there in his place, but nonetheless, he would have been on this team regardless. So nice for him to acknowledge that and kind of have his presence in the locker room with his jersey throughout the tournament. This is one thing I'll say about Team USA. They've had gold medal worthy teams in the past. This was the best team that Team USA has ever put together for an Olympic team. Like, even back in 2010, when they went to, Parise scores late and pushes Canada to overtime before Crosby gets a gold medal goal or golden goal. You kind of felt like you're hanging with Canada. You got a team that can hang with them, but you're trying to almost fight above a weight class. We're like, this was the first Olympics where I'm like, no, they've Team USA and Team Canada. Yeah, if you look at the names on paper, Team Canada is better, but this Team USA team more than gold medal worthy, and they proved it. They got tested against Team Sweden. Sweden almost, who knows how things go if Sweden ends up getting overtime, but Quinn Hughes, says, no, I got this. He goes and gets the winner. Same thing, with Canada and Czechia. But we got the two best teams in the tournament. Two teams that deserve to be in the gold medal game were here. And, 1-1, like I texted you guys, you and Ant, 1-1 late in the third, going overtime. Like, what else did you expect? Like this was how it had to be.
That's exactly how it was going to go. Like if you were probably the easiest bet of this game was probably the under. There was no question that was existing. If you thought these teams in any way would score, I think it closed at what, like 5.5. Some books I think had like all the way down to 4.5. But if you thought there were going to be goals scored in this game, you were living somewhere else. That was not that's not how this was going to go. It was a battle of two two very good goalies, two very good teams that didn't miss an opportunity. So,
and we got Ant Rivera checking in with every US. He's got the Eagles. He's got the medals. Absolute cinnamon. Always listen to Tony Rivers. He's right. Like, and yeah, absolutely. There was no chance this game was going on. Even if it became, not to say like there was no way this game was going to be a blowout, but let's say somebody went up 2-0 and just took control of the game. All right, fine. They get an empty net goal, 3-0. You know, you pull the goalie again at 3-0. Okay, it wasn't going to be more. It wasn't going to be more than 4-0 one way or the other, or 4-1 for that matter. So, yeah, anybody that bet the over, I'd love to know what you were thinking on that one. But you know, speaking of totals, obviously the goalies have a big part of that. Hellebuck stood tall. I think one narrative we need to get rid of is that he's not a big game goalie, and I understand he needs to do it in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but. In hindsight, you go back and look at those Winnipeg Jets teams. Yeah, they were, regular season dynamos and stuff like that. But, again, like I've never looked at a Winnipeg Jets playoff loss and go, oh, that was Hellebuck's fault. Like for over the course of a series, maybe on a particular game, rarely, but never. There's never been a series where you look at Winnipeg and go, oh, Hellebuck needed to play better. He lost that series for them. So
he did his part. Like how he could not have done more for his team today. Like there's nothing more he could have done to help his team win. Like he went to the end of the world for them. This game, he gave the Americans the chance to do exactly what he knew, and I guess all the Americans fans thought was that one opportunity, that one breakdown where you can score. And listen, here he is, right? It was that stick save on Taves. The minute I saw that, I tweeted, I said, remember that one, because it's one of those that you're like, hey, that's where things change. The course of history changes. The same way with McKinnon missing that wide open net.
He wants that one back.
He's got all the time in the world, right? And you look at those moments and you say those are there. Let's say either one of those goes in, and we haven't we may be sitting having a very, very different conversation. But hockey is a game of inches, and sometimes, again, the best team sometimes does not win. It's the team that scores more goals in that game, and the United States did exactly that.
And like you said, that stick save, like there are like Team Canada can overcome missing like an open net like McKinnon, or like an unbelievable save and then the puck trickling through the crease on the rebound against Czechia, against teams of that, like the teams that aren't Team USA. As good as Team Canada is, Team USA was that good as well, and you can't afford to miss those opportunities. Even in a Stanley Cup playoff game, when it's much more, it's not the two best teams on the planet by far. Can't afford to squander those opportunities or miss. You can miss on one, can't miss on two or more. And
you're only going to get so many, right? Like that's the thing about hockey in general. You're especially at this level with everything going on, you're only going to get so many chances. You know that. So you have to bury the ones that you get. You can't give your opponent opportunities to stick around. Canada gave them just enough life to believe that they could, and then they unfortunately did.
And here's the other thing too. I mean, we're talking plenty about Connor Hellebuck. Jordan Binnington did, and again, everything you could possibly want. I mean, he made that glove save. It was either early in overtime or late in the third, where I was like, oh, like that. At that point, I'm like, oh, maybe they will play more than a couple of minutes if we're gonna have saves like that at both ends of the rink. Maybe this will be 5+ minutes of overtime. But yeah, the thing I take away from Binnington here is he's got 1.5 years left at $6 million per. He's got to force a trade out of St. Like get him out of St. He needs to play for a Canadian-based team. Maybe that's what it needs to be. Maybe it may not be exactly representing Team Canada, but maybe that's what he needs to get the juices going.
I don't know. When he locks in, that's it. There's no, There were a lot of questions about whether he could, carry this team to where it needed to be. I think he's answered the call now multiple times that he can. He does also have a Stanley Cup. And again, nothing against Logan Thompson, who again had, he had fantastic numbers heading into this. He played very well in his one game that he got. So I just think when it comes time for Jordan Binnington, I don't know what's in the pregame nap or in the pregame meal that he's eating, but when he dons that Canada jersey, all of a sudden he turns into something else. And there were lots of opportunities for the Americans to score goals. He made numerous big saves that again kept Canada where they needed to be. Some of those while they were trailing 1-0. So he was right there. That glove save, like you said, at overtime, just to start it. He gets a piece of it. You can see it. He looks back immediately and he's like, "Hey, just to make sure." And then that's the type of confidence sometimes your team needs, because then your goalie is going to be there. And maybe that's why Canada decided, on that goal, you could see they try to push up. Guys are, they're trying to get that little spring there to go the other way, which is what you're looking for. And I think that Canada took that risk, right? Which again was well calculated. You have the best players on the ice, right? McKinnon and McDavid were out there. So yeah, obviously try to push it. They thought maybe they could get that edge, go the other way, end it. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out.
Kudos to Sidney Crosby, who's out there in his jersey and gear to take the silver medal with his team, even though he couldn't play. And it would be oversimplifying it to be like, oh, if they had Crosby, they probably would have won. I mean, yes, missing a guy that's like as star-studded as that locker room is. Crosby still the guy that they all kind of look up to, and like that's our dude. Not having that presence, it has an effect. And you can make the argument the other way, like, oh, they could have rallied to be like, oh, let's win one for Sid. Let's go, even though he's not there. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can break that apart, but not having Sidney Crosby in your lineup, not to say like, oh, that's the difference, but it has an impact.
Maybe it's not what he can do on the ice anymore, which he still does at a very high level, but it's the demeanor that the players said. I think it was against Czechia, where it's the calming presence to say, hey, it's okay. Like everything's going to be fine. Let's keep going. Put your head down, which I'm sure, yes, coaches can say it, but look how many times it was referenced to McDavid and McKinnon, especially the one where McKinnon scores that late goal against Finland, and everybody's celebrating, and you're looking at those two, and it's just it's ice cold, and they just don't care because they know that the job is not done. And that's the type of demeanor and leadership that you're looking for in those, especially when it doesn't go well. When it goes well, everybody's happy, everybody's joyful. It's the best time to be alive. When it's starting to struggle, you're facing some adversity, that's where you start turning to guys who, again, Sid has literally won everything. There's nothing missing on his mantle. And, he arguably, again, has scored probably Canada's biggest goal ever at the Olympics. So losing him probably is something, but it speaks to the level of him saying, hey, I will let somebody else, 100% of somebody else is better than 70% of him, which I think that's him being humble, because I would have taken 70% of Sid in any shape or form. But again, give him credit. He thought that the rest of the guys could go out there and perform. They were right there.
I saw somebody floating an idea like, oh, good for Sid. He knows the Penguins have a chance and he doesn't want to ruin it. That did not factor into his decision. This is not a beer league Thursday game. Like, yeah, I know I said I'd play with you guys, but no, this is to win gold. If he could have played, he would have played. This was not a calculated, but if I tweak something now, it's going to put the Penguins on it. I saw that was crazy.
He's not going to get another chance to play for his country. That's it. He's 38 now. He's not going to be around again in 4 years when they go to France. So, this was his, think about it. This is probably your final Olympics. And even at that point, he still said, hey, I'm not at the level I think I can be. The confidence to say, hey, somebody else can handle this. The leadership group is
how many the talent you have on Team Canada. It's not like he's the one good guy on the team and oh, we're fucked, I don't play. No, he knows okay, they got this.
He knows exactly. These are the best players in the world. They are all here to, have one common goal. Fortunately, Canada falls short of that goal, but they're all here I know sometimes, it was a little bit more difficult, I think, for certain players, right? They're getting up there in age. I thought Marchand was showing the father time is right there, because the game is now faster than ever, and he was not. But the the sheer level of talent out there, and like that's what you need sometimes. If one guy goes down, you turn to the next. Again, Josh Morrissey played one game, and then that was it. And Shea Theodore played, I would say, very, very well for a guy who was supposed to be the seventh defenseman. Travis Sanheim had a fantastic game. He played really well. Even Drew Doughty. It wasn't pretty, but what you needed from Doughty, you got. That's the reliability that you were looking for. He went out there, he did that. There was once upon a time where we didn't know Thomas Harley existed. His coming out party was at the Four Nations. He was the seventh defenseman who wasn't playing, steps in, and now he was a top four defenseman for Team Canada. He was very, very good. So Colton Parenko as well. This was a good team. Again, sometimes the better team doesn't win.
USA getting their gold medals right now. I will say any drywall within arm's distance of Connor McDavid is not safe, because the look on that man's face getting a silver medal after, as Matthew Tkachuk eloquently put it to Leon Draisaitl, being a bridesmaid all those times. And now yes, they won the Four Nations, but I'm sure in the back of McDavid's mind, it's like, okay, if I can't get a cup, at least I get a gold. Yeah, he's going to hit a wall at some point. He's going to snap. That man is going to boil over soon.
He did exactly what you needed to do. I think this was, like, don't forget, this was his first Olympics as well. I know sometimes, we think of all the great things players have accomplished, and, there's no shortage of them for McDavid and the gang, but this was his first playoffs as well. His first Olympics. He got to don the C in two very important games. It's probably going to be his C moving forward as well in the next Olympics. And it all comes, it all comes from him now at this point. And if you think that, like, it stings, man, it's going to sting. And that's the taste you kind of want to remember. So when you get back to it, you know exactly what you need to do and how you need to drive everybody else that comes with it.
Jack Hughes with the all-American hockey smile there, with like missing the part of a tooth, and get like, and I'll say this, it is really cool to watch, like, as they're going down to hand the gold medals, like, and Jack Hughes is a perfect example. It's the second they put the medal on, he takes the jersey, like, see the gold over the USA, you just see this huge smile come across his face. Like that, like,
first of all,
no matter what side you're on, you like, these guys have had a lot of success at a lot of different levels. This is it right here. If you tell me gold medal or Stanley Cup, I know you can have that debate till the cows come home. I don't know, man. To me, it's gold medal.
It's gold medal all the time. There's nothing like representing your country. Players want to be here regardless of all the injuries that may or may not happen. You see a whole bunch of players coming together and, like, not, you know what I mean? Like, not caring. You saw, Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho and that Finley, they play for the same team. Their paychecks are signed by the same person, and they're just staring each other down. Or, a lot of times with Sam Bennett there and, Matthew Tkachuk's on the other side. These guys play for the same team. Or watching, Tom Wilson and Brad Marchand come together. Representing your country, there can't be anything better than that. I know players want to do it. They will do whatever they need to. It's something that is just, it's built into you. And I can't wait for the next one. I know it's 4 years away. I will be 4 years older, but it is what it is.
Craig checking in. I wouldn't bet against a 42-year-old Sid playing in France. I'll say this. It wouldn't shock me, but I think at that point, like, even Sid might be like, no, somebody else needs to go.
I don't think he would go.
Yeah,
I don't think Sid's going to drag out his career in the NHL longer than it needs to be. Like, I don't think, like, he's going to do it until he's like, hey, I can't do it anymore at the level that I want it to do.
Well, the second there's a slight, like,
the second he feels that he can't, he's going to be like, I can't be here. And the best example is today. He could have easily got out there, be the 13th forward, play the key minutes if needed, be the guy down low on the power play. And he's like, no, I can't play to the level that I need to play. I'm just not going to do it. So maybe I do think maybe he will hold a management role with that team or a special advisor, because that seems to be the key role for some players. You're a special advisor to something. Comes with a title, comes with a paycheck. And listen, nobody knows better than Sid about what it takes to win a gold medal.
Banner is being raised right now with the Star Spangled Banner playing. Canada silver, Finland bronze. There we go. Yeah, that's the moment that they all been waiting for right there. That's the one. That's the one you're hoping. That's how you're hoping the Olympics end. There it is. Team USA getting the gold first time in 46 years. So
Been a minute,
Team USA's won gold in my lifetime. Can I get a Jets Super Bowl appearance? Like, at least I remember the Rangers winning the cup. I was 11. I would like to experience one at an age where I can appreciate it more. But this is pretty good. As I remember 2002 watching in my college suite common area with buddies, USA, Canada beating them. I can remember watching Sidney Crosby score the golden goal from my couch in my apartment on 84th Street and 20th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. And just being, I don't want to use the word devastated, but it devastated as much as devastated as you could be over a hockey game. Like, just to see that goal go in that way. And now to, this is fantastic. This is a big step for USA hockey. Now,
I don't want to age you, but like back at that time, I was still living at home.
I'm sure you were.
I was sitting on my couch, and watching it. Obviously, jumped for joy. I don't even think I don't remember much. I just remember extreme excitement when Sidney Crosby put it in the back of the net on Ryan Miller. That's what I remember.
There are two highlights that I distinctly remember, three that I distinctly remember watching on that couch in my apartment. And I've watched a ton of hockey games, Ranger games, all that stuff. Crosby's golden goal. Tomas Hertl absolutely embarrassing Marty Biron, but back when he was a rookie, he went through his legs and over the shoulder on him. And Marc-Andre Fleury's, jumping in front of a bullet save at the end of Game 7 against Detroit. That, those three, for whatever reason, I remember watching those three on the couch. But yeah, so here we go. And now Team USA winning the gold will be from my office in Northern California. Funny how things change since the last game like that. It's 16, whatever it was. And now they're taking the team photo. One thing I do want to say is for France, don't give out stupid stuffed animals. Like they just got their gold medal. They could not. I don't care if it's hockey. I don't care if it's biathlon, speed skating, whatever.
McDavid might leave it at the airport. He might abandon that one and be like, "Hey, listen,
he might have ripped the head off it already." If you're familiar,
I don't think it would cause harm to it. I think he may just leave it there and be like, "Hey."
If you're familiar with the Simpsons episode with Bart versus Lisa in the hockey, where she rips the Mr. Honey Bunny's head off and wears it on, because that was Bart's childhood stuffed animal. I could see McDavid doing something like that. But maybe hand it to them as they skate off the rink. Don't make them wait to have the banner. Now this is nice. They brought a couple of Johnny Gaudreau's kids out on the rink there. Take the team photo with them. That's the thing too. They're doing this the right way. They really are. That's cool. For everything that happened, and I hope that piece of shit that's in jail is rotting away, and this is just building up the case against him, because that guy, every time he's trying to stop you, you're in the wrong, and your penance. All right,
that we can agree on. That we can agree on. That we can live with.
I'm really glad that it wasn't just for show. We're between the Flames and the Blue Jackets as NHL franchises, John Tortorella, when he was the coach of the Flyers, bringing Gaudreau's dad in for a few practices, being like, "Hey, let's get your mind off things for a little bit here. Come and help run a practice for an hour."
John Tortorella, gold medal winning coach now. You know, I mean, he's there, not hanging out in the NHL, but he's part of a staff that, got it done. I will say this: it's going to be tough for me over the next couple of days. Not to make this about me, but there is a lot of, there may or may not be some Canadian maple whiskey in this Tim Hortons cup to help. There may or may not. There may or may not. But the sheer amount of tweets I'm gonna get and
Oh, yeah.
messages from some of the most unbearable people is gonna be tough. So I'm gonna have to. I feel like I'm gonna go around. 12 rounds with Mike Tyson. What I shouldn't be. It's already starting. So I'm excited to. I'm excited to have to deal with that for the next, I don't know, 4
Oh,
years.
it's not going to be a productive Monday for you, that's for sure.
It is not. It is not.
So now they're back out taking the team photo again with all the coaches and all the front office and trainers and everything. So they're doing their routine there. They're enjoying every moment.
This was a fantastic Olympics as well. There was a lot of questions about the rink and everything. I seem to have held out pretty well. Didn't hear any complaints for either side about it. Everything didn't look
The one
terrible.
major injury, Kevin Fiala, was not related to the ice surface, so it's like
not.
so it's not like it claimed the victim or anything like that. But
The Italians always knew what was going on. They're like, chillax, we got time. They're running it close. They're like, we got time.
It was like that for like I remember like for the Summer Olympics when they were down in Sydney. I remember the one year when they were in Greece. I think I want to say it was 2004. There was always it's like almost every Olympics that one of the major venues like, oh no, it's not going to be ready on time, and it's always ready on time. Like they're not going to mess up the Olympics coming to their country from a multitude of reasons. And yes, I think it was a fantastic Olympics overall. Maybe even though the round robin early, there was a couple of slow games, but overall pretty good. But the first round, the quarterfinals, semi, all good hockey.
Listen, France, you have time, huh? You have time. Start building it or finish it up. First of all, I think France should be fine because they do have hockey.
Yeah,
not to say that Italy doesn't, but let's keep it a stock.
Oh, but France play. Yeah, no, and here's the other thing too, with them being the host country and already. So yeah, they'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. They've had the Olympics back in '92 in Albertville, I think was the last time France had the Winter Olympics. I know they had the summer in Paris not too long ago.
I need to find somebody who lives in France and will let me stay on their couch for 2 weeks.
Albertville 92 Olympics. I'm going to really age myself here. That was the first Olympic hockey I remember watching. I remember 94. Peter Forsberg scoring. What was that? Corey Hirsch, I want to say.
Listen, in 92, I was 1. So
Yeah,
can't say I remember, but listen, if you live in France, just know je parle très bien le français, and I am very willing to just sleep on your couch. You know what I mean? Just give me somewhere to stay. That's it. That's all I'm worried about. I know Europe's expensive in general, or just can I sleep in? Maybe I'll get a gym membership, like a 24-hour gym membership, and just sleep at the gym.
Okay. Works. You find a little space to just throw a shirt over your head so it's not bright.
I don't need much. I just need literally. I'll sleep on a concrete floor. I do not care. But I got 4 years to figure. I got 4 years to make friends with the French.
You don't have a problem there. Now, let's talk about, one of the things that won't really change from Italy to France is the start times of the games. Now, overall, during the Olympics, it is nice, at least on the West Coast, to have some hockey on, at 8 in the morning, sometimes 3 in the morning. I'm not waking up that early, but like from breakfast all the way through like lunch. I will say I missed having being able to put a game on at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Like not having that for a couple of weeks kind of stinks. But overall, I didn't mind people complaining that the start time for the gold medal game was 8 a.m. East, 5 a.m. West. But people that were saying oh, they should change the start time. No, yeah, you know what? We're going to delay the closing ceremonies and all that stuff just because Team USA and Team Canada. No, yes, you have the right to not be thrilled about it and oh, they should. It wasn't happening. You were complaining over nothing.
One minor inconvenience to people who live out west, and all of a sudden they want to throw hands up in the air.
Oh, but there was people on the East Coast complaining 8 a.m. on a Sunday, and I get it. People go to church. It's still early. Oh, this would be a ratings bonanza if they just moved it to 3 in the afternoon on the East Coast. And I don't disagree, but they were never going to do it, first of all. And second of all, was it not worth it for those of us that did wake? I woke up, it was dark out. My alarm was set for, I knew puck drop was 5:10. My alarm was set for 4:58.
Listen,
just enough time to wake up. And
the Olympics is about the world, first of all. Okay. So all those people complaining, just remember it's about the world. It's not just all about you. Second of all, I have to deal with somebody, as somebody who lives on the East Coast, okay? I have to deal with those late games, okay? All the time. Most of you in the West have never watched a hockey game, at 10 p.m. your time because it doesn't exist. Doesn't
It would be
exist.
nice if they did.
I mean, you guys can fall asleep at a reasonable hour. You don't have to sweat into the night, for trying to get, hit your DFS lineup or see if your parlay hits. So again, one minor inconvenience once every 4 years, you're fine. Also, strap in. It's in France next.
So it's
And
same time difference, maybe 1 hour better.
You have 4 years to prepare yourself mentally for the exact same thing that's going to happen. Okay. 4 years. Strap in, figure it out. Okay. Stop complaining. Just wake up like the rest of us.
Here's the big question mark for the next Olympics. Will we have a Team Russia? That's what will we have a Team Russia by then? Because I'm not trying to put like a damper on anything, but best on the planet, but you have no worse than the third best team on the planet, I would say, not allowed to participate. And I'm not saying they should be allowed to participate, but the goaltending in Russia, automatically best on the planet. And you look, they absolutely have a formidable roster from line 1 through line 4, from D pairing 1 to pairing 3. So I'm curious how things change in the world over the next 4 years, and if maybe they're allowed to play back in it, because that would be nice to have them back in just from a competitive standpoint.
Same thing. You got 4 years, figure it out. You know what I mean? Do the thing, and then welcome back, and then you can play. I know some people are like, "Oh, this Russia team could have easily won gold," and I'm like, "Listen,
not easily. Yes, they were capable, but not easily.
Or great goaltending, right? Let's not question that. Nikita Kucherov, probably one of the best players on the face of the earth. That defensive group is not elite, and we know that you need an elite defensive group to win hockey games.
Slovakia got as far as they did. I would not call their defensive. Feravari and a couple other guys are good, but I would not call them elite. Or is Feravari? I think he's on Czechia actually, so I might have spoken.
Again, maybe. I mean, and then Czechia got. No, sorry, the Slovaks didn't make it past.
Oh, he's on. Him and Nemec is a top pairing. That's him and Cernak.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All I'm saying is that some of you were thinking the Russians is just like, they're like, oh, it can't be the best if they're not there. Again,
yeah, that's I don't agree.
Figure it out.
But
figure it out. I'm not a world politician, but I'm just saying, figure it out.
I don't know if you remember an old website, glassbangers.com. They still exist. I wore my Team USA faded 1980. This was what I slept in last night. And you can see it's been through the wash a few times. But yeah, I'm glad I wore that last night. And yeah, maybe it'll survive again for another 4 years to get me to 2030 in Paris, France.
I've been wearing the same sweater. This sweater has not been washed in 2 weeks. Now it's not filthy. Okay.
You only wear it for the games.
Don't think I'm disgusting, but I didn't want to wash it. I was like, I can't do it. It will go into the wash after this, and it'll finally get its cleaning. It's just got a lot of dog hair and some like dog saliva on it. That's it. Nothing too crazy. It doesn't smell. I got a t-shirt underneath. It's warm sometimes, but I'm like, you do what you got to do for your country. However you got to do it.
It won't be like the water where after I just did a deep clean on a lot of my hockey gear that I sent the picture to you. It won't be that color. That's for sure.
You don't want to see that picture, by the way. If you've never watched hockey equipment, oh boy.
Yeah, the color was interesting, but nonetheless, if you want, we recapped every aspect of Team Canada, Team USA. Go back to earlier in the show and watch full thorough breakdown. Now, the good news is on Thursday, the 26th here, we go back to our normal good old-fashioned format, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time, because we'll have NHL action on Wednesday this week. We return to the rink on Wednesday night. It's got a full slate of action too for a Wednesday, especially. Wednesday's usually a lighter night, but get things going off the NHL break. I'll be at Sharks Oilers on Saturday afternoon. Looking forward to that. Little afternoon puck drop. McDavid Celebrini. Down with a few friends. So I have 6 Sharks games between Saturday and April 11th because My 9 games were not enough to qualify for early playoff ticket access, and that's a realistic possibility with the Sharks this year, so I got suckered into buying 2 more games. So,
The
I think
horrors.
the horrors. Now, if you factor in I have 3 concerts, well, if you factor in starting Friday night when I went to a concert through that April 11th home finale against the Canucks, I have 9 games or concerts in 50 days. So, yay
Like,
me.
please, somebody shed a tear for
Oh,
poor
I
Adam.
don't want anybody shedding a tear. I'm excited. I get to maybe watch a Sharks playoff push for the first time
He's going to be
in
able
many
to buy
years.
reasonably priced playoff tickets. It's like, wow, I would have to sell a kidney. Should the Montreal Canadiens make it, I'm gonna have to sell a kidney, or maybe somebody just brings me. I'm just trying to figure out.
I mean, you get out. Listen, buddy, you get out to my neck of the woods. I'll pay for your ticket. I don't care. Figure out when the Canadians come to town in future seasons. Make it work, or you do a California road trip and you can stop there and then go down to Southern California. But that's the one thing now with the expansion out west. Don't get that tradition. Like a lot of teams used to just do all 3 California teams in like 4 days and be done with it.
Montreal
Now
still does it. They still do the 3 and
Vegas,
4.
Seattle, and They kind of spread them out a little.
Listen, if you're telling me I got to finish a West Coast swing in Vegas for a game, I've watched one. I watched a Vegas Dallas game at the Fortress, as they call it, and I enjoyed it very much. So, I'm 1 parlay away every day from being able to make a California swing happen. Just 1 away. Try to get there.
Like we said, next one, Total Hockey Now coming up Thursday. When is the next Slapshot?
Once I'm done crying today and I've recovered mentally and I've healed, there's a good chance it'll be live tomorrow. I mean, we could talk about all the reasons why Canada didn't win or why the US won. That, and I'm also going to debut a new segment. And now it's going to be even better. Again, there was a lot of hate around Nick Suzuki. And, then he got that fantastic tip. So I decided we're going to dig into the comment section on TikTok. So we're going to read some mean TikToks. And in the comment section, you should be there because they are horrendous.
You also get Chris's picks on other days, fantasyalarm.com/NHL. Him and Josh Wagner doing great work there. Rip and Riff, myself and Mr. Jared Moore. That will return tomorrow after 1 week off. I was driving back from a family getaway last Monday. Rip and Riff back tomorrow. Past the football season, at least for now, so we'll talk plenty of hockey, maybe a little baseball, maybe a little basketball, who knows. But that'll do it for this edition of Total Hockey Now here on the Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. We'll be back with you Thursday. Typical episode. We'll have plenty to talk about. And then 5:35 Eastern, we get to our picks for the Thursday night slate. And we'll provide you with that. But for @FuzzyChris91 and our bud @AntRivera86 earlier in the chat today, I am @Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little post-game Team USA Canada gold medal game party. See you Thursday at our normal time, 5 o'clock Eastern.